Jeremy Corbyn today vowed to buy 8,000 homes and create new powers for councils to take over deliberately empty luxury flats to end rough sleeping. The Labour leader said the country needed social priorities that placed homeless people above the right for foreign investors to buy and sell property off-plan. Mr Corbyn insisted Labour would intervene on the housing market in a number of ways to help social tenants, private renters and first-time buyers. Figures from the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government last week revealed 4,751 people were sleeping rough in 2017, the highest figure in the 8 years rough sleeping has been tracked. Some 760 were European nationals, while another 402 people refused to reveal a nationality when asked. Labour said if it wins power, it would also seek to buy up housing association properties when they become vacant and hand them to homeless people instead of making them available again as affordable homes. The housing association properties would then be replaced in a wider house building program. Labour's manifesto claimed it will build 100,000 genuinely affordable for renting and buying each year. In an interview with the BBC's Andrew Marr, how he would fix rough sleeping, Mr Corbyn said, "We would immediately purchase 8,000 properties across the country to give immediate housing to those people that are currently homeless. At the same time, we would require local authorities to build far more. The problem is homeless people, rough sleepers, beg to get money for a night shelter, stay in the night shelter or a hostel. The problem then is move on accommodation. The problem then is not having an address, without which can't get a job or claim benefits." Mr Corbyn agreed there was a major problem with new flats being bought and sold off-plan by foreign investors before they are left empty. Asked by Marr, homeless people should be handed empty luxury flats, the Labour leader said, "We would give local authorities the power to take over deliberately kept vacant properties. When you have in the middle of an area where there is a lot of housing stress, many people rough sleeping, you have luxury, glossy, glistening block built, sold off-plan to long-distance overseas investors who may buy it and sell it before it is even built. Let's look at social priorities here. Many people are homeless, many people are living in overcrowded accommodation, many in middle-class families' children cannot leave home because they cannot raise a deposit for a private rented flat, have no chance of buying, and no chance of a council flat." He added, "There is something grossly insulting about the idea you would build a luxury block, deliberately keep it empty knowing that with property price inflation the investor is going to make 10% or 12% a year. Maybe a bit less, but they are going to make a fair amount out of it. Surely we have to have a social objective and a social priority in our society." Mr Corbyn said Labour make intervention into the market in a number of ways. He said there would be more council houses built, lifetime tenancies at a secure rent and regulation of the private rented sector. Mr Corbyn also endorsed a government-backed first-time buyer mortgage scheme. Shadow Housing Secretary John Healey added, "The rising number of people sleeping on the streets and on park benches shames us all. There can be no excuses, we can end it and we must. Homelessness shames us all but should shame Conservative ministers most. It is direct consequence of decisions made by the Tories on housing and on funding for charities and councils. Under the last Labour government, years of sustained action cut rough sleeping by 3/4, but it has more than doubled since 2010. You can't help the homeless if you don't provide the homes. A Labour government would put a stop to this national scandal and provide those who need it most with a place to call home.